we might jump across into the Chiefs, a player you should know. Look, I'll jump into him. Eteni Nana Saturo. I mean, he's a perennial player that's hot shit.
He's been on this list forever.
Yeah, he really has.
Since he's about 14 years old.
Yeah, he's 22, so he still scrapes in here, but a 7-star dynamic winger who's just absolutely devastating whenever he gets his hands on the ball. But yeah, he's been around the fringes for a few years, and we're really hoping to see him get some good game time this year moving forward. So it wouldn't surprise us if he got a crack. He locked in himself in that jersey and really blew up this competition.
Yeah, and obviously he was the bloke, as an 18-year-old 4 years ago now, that there was this big contract negotiation to get him out of a contract with the New Zealand Warriors so he could stay in Union. Yeah. He was just so hotly sought after as an 18-year-old schoolboy prodigy winger. So, it's time we see something really exceptional from him, I reckon.
The player that I'd add to the you should know is Samisoni Takiaho.
Yeah.
Partially because it's such a fun name to say, but realistically, he just had a breakout 2021. His performances for the Chiefs are unreal. He just showed that he can scrummage, but that he's just obviously such a beast in the carry. And he took it to the test arena too. So I think he's just going to bring a whole lot to the Chiefs pack. And probably the most exciting thing is, it is unfortunate, but Nathan Harris has retired. And I guess previous years we've sort of had them, bracketed as Harris probably being the starter and Takiaho off the bench. This year he's got, Bradley Slater, who's got a few caps under his belt, but,
he's another good young hooker.
He's quite good, but he's
young hooker.
Takiaho.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just see he's now got a bigger gap between him and the next hooker. So I'm keen for his 2022.
Look, I think he could have a massive. I mean, he had a breakout year last year, but in fantasy wise, he could be very, very high up this table.
Yeah.
So he's an exciting one for sure.
You might knows. I'm going to go with Lordy, Josh Lord. He's just had his birthday. I think 4th of Jan from memory was his birthday. So I'm going to say that every year we talk about him. 22 years old.
Yeah.
Because I did say it last year when he was nearly 21. This team, the Chiefs, is stocked with young locking talent. That's Tupou Vai'i, Lachlan McWonnell, Natua Akoi, and now Josh Lord as well. And still out of that group, Vai'i's been in the All Blacks for a couple of years, but he's leapfrogged Akoi and McWonnell to go straight into the All Blacks squad last year, originally as a development player, but then he played against Italy and played 80 minutes. Like they've talked up what a prospect he is, but to jump the rest of the young cattle in that side, he's just another one of those players that could be absolutely anything. And obviously they're looking at their succession plan at the Chiefs, and I think that Lord is probably a big, big part of that.
Do you have anyone to fit the you might knows, Rev?
Yeah, the you might know it's touch and go because I think he should be everywhere, but he's not the biggest centre in the team. Obviously, the most well-known one usurps, but Quinta Paia, he's just someone that everyone should be getting around because for years it was just such a battle of him or Nankerville. Who do you go? Is it 12 or 13? And it was such a lottery. It now seems like a really clear pick of him at 12 and Leonard Brown at 13. Tapia, he just doesn't he look like a weapon? Like every carry just looks so dangerous. He can chop people as well, but still only 22 years old and finding his feet at super level. Only played the 19 games, but I think just someone that you can look at as having a massive year this season.
Yeah, he's had some massive weeks as well.
Huge fantasy scores. I'm looking at the weeks that he started. He played 60 or more minutes. He scored a low score of 7 in his first game, but then 45, 75, 59, and 44 points. Like he was just breaking tackles at will last year, and he's going to have a huge year, I reckon. Could be one of the top centers, actually.
Yeah, he's snake shoulders. So there's something about those shoulders. I don't know how he puts the hits on because he's just gone neck to peck, basically.
Neck to peck, yeah.
There's something. The shoulders are missing, but no, he looks like an absolute weapon. And sadly, we think he's really usurping Nankerville as that first choice, getting bulk minutes. Another name on the sheet here for you might know is Emoni Narawa. Come across from the Blues. We listed their outside backs. He had 7 matches for the Blues. He was hampered a little bit by injury. He did get a few shots for the Auckland-based side, but he's a very exciting speedster. throws an offload, Fijian born, and plays exactly how you'd expect for a dynamic Fijian born player.
I thought so. He's 22 years old. We were talking him coming through the same time as Jonah Nareki.
Yeah.
And I remember when that came that year, a few years ago, I was more excited about Narawa than I was about Nareki. Obviously, right now, doesn't really stack up exactly like that, but I think it speaks to the prospect that he was, and hopefully we get to see some of that talent.
I think one of the reasons for that is he's had some pretty injury-hampered seasons as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
In that 2019 season for the NPC, he was a breakout player, and he was in the top couple try scorers with Nareki. So, yeah, if he can find his way into this starting side, he's an exciting player.
Yeah. You might not know his Rev.
They might not know. One name stood out to me, and that was Ramika Poihipi. He's someone that he actually got a start last year in the game where they were sort of resting players, so they sort of put out their B team against the Blues. He started at 12 and actually played a really solid game. Can hold the team together well. Ended up getting a few more games off the bench, but he's only 23. I'm a broken record, but the thing I like is 105 kilos. How exciting is that for your centers if you've just got that bulk there? Pretty tall as well. He's about 6'2". So we've already spoken about the logjam of centers here and that Nankivell's struggling for minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at, specifically at 12s, if he sort of just even jumped ahead there. Nankivell's got the minutes under the belt, but if you're looking for those explosive players, and especially for a bit of bulk, given the outside backs are a little bit more, I'll say slight, I think he's a really solid option.
Yep. And how about the competition he's got with young Gideon Rampling as well? Another big unit. I think he's 98 kilos or something coming through that can fill a spot in the centres as well. So he's another 12. There's just so many good young centres in that side.
A name I'm going to throw out there, Sammy Penny Finau, a 22-year-old, played 6 games for the Chiefs last year. He was in the New Zealand schoolboys side, under 20 side, sorry. He was the Barbarian schoolboys side. And he played a lot of his junior rugby as a fullback before shifting into the back row. So he's quite a dynamic player. I know I say dynamic a lot, but this is fantasy footy. That's what we want to see. Loves ball in hand and loves getting amongst it. But yeah, Tongan born, really aggressive in the defensive line as well. So.
I don't know that he made a tackle that wasn't dominant last year.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just cutting people in half. I want to call him the meat axe. That's my suggestion for his nickname.
The Tongan meat axe.
The Tongan meat axe. I'm all about it.
Yeah, he's definitely got to get a nickname like that.
Yeah.
All right, that's right spaces. Maybe not it then.
No, I'm sticking with it. I'm going to go Revez Rayana, 21 years old, can play 10-15. He's just another one of those young players that I feel like plays a little bit like a DMAC role that they kind of need to fill this year. He played, I think, mainly fullback, but a little bit of 10 for Northland all this year as well. So he's playing consistent game at NPC level. So he's kind of at that next stage of his career now. And I think the thing that stuck out for me when we were researching him last year was that he played 4 or 5 years of first 15 in high school. He made his debut in year 9 as a winger, which is just unheard of. No one debuts that early. Freakish talent.
Have anyone else here for you? I've got one more, but I'll let you go.
No, I'll let you have it. I think I'm all done for the team.
All right, Xavier Rowe is another one there for us. 23-year-old talented youngster. So obviously Brad Weber's there and really going to be inserting himself as that starting jersey. Tahuri Orangi's left. But yeah, he's got a good running game. So he's a good fantasy-based 9. But we do see him on the bench. But if he gets that chance, again, he's another player to watch.
It does surprise me he's 23. I thought he was going to be like 21 this year. Hey?
Yeah, I mean, he has had 2 very good halfbacks there in front of him for a while now.
Yep.